In recent years, there has been a shift in the township economy, and big businesses moving into the township, small businesses moving into the township, foreign nationals are moving into the township. And the question is, why are all these businesses moving into the township? What is it about the township that is now so profitable that all these big retailers, all these property developers, and all these foreign nationals are moving into the township to make a big profit? Let's talk about it.
Get rid of your Monday business blues and be business savvy by joining the Market Savvy crew. New episodes drop every Monday at 12 midday. Subscribe now and don't delay. Get tips, trends, and increase your net worth by subscribing to our mailing list. Visit www.kbonoko.com and let your ambitions fuel your every move.
May I have your attention, please? I'm your host, K Jesus, and you're tuned into the Market Savvy podcast. This is your go-to podcast when we are talking about the heart of business. I'm here to bring you insights and to make sure you are clued up on business in general, particularly business in the township. Today, we are talking about why big businesses are making a move into the township, and we are going to be highlighting the evolution of Spaza shops, and we are also going to be touching on the reasons why these big businesses are making a move into the township. And for us to understand what the township is, we need to dive deep into the history of townships in general, especially in South Africa. So if you're not familiar with what townships are and you're not based in South Africa, just know that townships are what people call the ghetto. It's where there's no housing, no water, no electricity. And if we do have such, they're not enough to cover the dense population that is already in those places. Townships are typically those places that are overlooked by everyone, the government, even business overlooks the township. At some point in South Africa, townships were just places where black people were segregated to make sure that they are living as far as possible away from urban areas that were generating money, where white people were running their businesses. And for you to have access to those urban areas, you generally needed to have a pass that allowed you and gave you permission to literally be in those areas. And because we couldn't have access to these urban areas, we're now forced to be creative, and our creativity literally gave birth to the informal business sector. And if you're not aware what the informal business sector is, I'm just gonna highlight a few pointers to help you understand what the informal business sector is. The informal business sector is that mother at the corner, that corner where she's selling snacks to people going to work or from work. It's that lady who's selling fed cooks. It's that man who's selling inyama yentloko. It's also that spaza shop that has now become a foreign owned spaza shop. These informal businesses are the backbone of what the economy in the township looks like. And now that you have an understanding of what the township is, now let's talk about why foreign nationals are moving away from their countries into South Africa to set up their shops. There's a huge influx of white people, of other colored people that are moving into South Africa, particularly Cape Town, to set up their businesses. And it's not just that. In all the townships in South Africa, be it Soweto, Tembisa, Katlehong, KwaThema, Khayelitsha, you can name all the townships, whether you're in Durban, Umlazi, wherever, you now have foreign people running businesses. And these businesses were once the backbone of our society. And I'm referring to spaza shops in particular. And this has posed a huge risk because not only are local South African facing big retailers moving into the townships, we are now faced with foreigners that are also moving into the township to serve the very same communities that when we launched our businesses, we were looking to serve. And yes, one would argue that the reason we lost our own very spaza shops to foreign nationals is because we were not willing to compromise on pricing. We were not willing to, give iskoloto. We were not, skoloto, by the way, is credit. We were not willing to open for very long hours. We were just not willing to meet our customer halfway, which I believe it's not true. With big businesses moving into the township, we were already experiencing a knock in terms of profitability. Remember, the reason we had spaza shops in the first place, or the informal sector in general, was because people were forced to travel long hours for them to get to the nearest town where they would get whatever it is that they needed. And because of our creativity, we then decided, no, man, let's open a spaza shop, and the spaza shop is going to serve the community. We are going to take care of their needs, and we are going to be convenient. While being convenient, we are also going to be competitive when it comes to pricing, because it means I'm saving you money. You no longer have to go it down to get whatever it is that you're looking for. You can just take a short left ekasi and get whether it's a packet of soap, whether it's your cold drink, whether it's your monthly groceries. You didn't really need to travel and cough out transport money. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, I want you to keep in mind that townships are more than just residential areas. They're living testimonies to the country's complex and often traumatizing history. Communities in the township, like I said, they were established during an apartheid era where black people were segregated, and they made sure that we lacked job opportunities. And the history of South African township is deeply intertwined with the country's policies and the Group Areas Act of 1950, which played a pivotal role in making sure that government had a say in where people lived and where they ran their businesses by race, which meant that people did not have that much opportunities, right? So life in the townships is even now characterized by overcrowding, inadequate housing, limited access to basic services like water and electricity. But despite these hardships, townships are still vibrant centers for culture, music, and so many other opportunities. And basically, the economy of the South African township is a tale of resilience and innovation. Historically, let's not forget that townships were marginalized from the mainstream economy, but over time, they've become significant economic hubs in their own right. You know, small businesses, informal trading, and entrepreneurship has flourished, providing essential goods and services to their very own people. In the informal sector, for instance, the Spaza shop, for decades, it has been the heartbeat of South African townships, where they've provided us essential goods and services, and it was ran from a small back room or front room. It was a family run business, and it was the lifeline of many people, offering convenience and accessibility. And also, they had a personal touch that big retailers often lacked. However, the landscape has changed dramatically with the rise of big retailers moving into the township. We can talk about companies like ShopRite, Pick n Pay, and Spar, which have expanded their footprint into townships. Yes, and while this has brought more options to consumers, it has also posed a significant threat to the original spaza shop. The arrival of big retailers has led to a decline in business for many spaza shops, which means that they are unable to compete with pricing, variety, and marketing power of, the big retailers. Many small shop owners have seen their customer base dwindle. This has not only affected their livelihoods, but also the fabric of the communities they serve. So, to shed more light on this issue, I just wanted to highlight that there's a current debate that's going on the original spaza shop being overtaken by foreign nationals. People are arguing that foreign nationals are bringing in lower prices and they've got a variety of products to offer. But I want you to bear in mind that when the foreign nationals came in, yes, they came in with their creativity, but they also came in with products that were not supporting the South African economy. For instance, many of these foreign-owned tuck shops, they don't hire South Africans. They don't hire black South Africans, meaning they bring in their own Somalian or Pakistani. And I'm not trying to be xenophobic, and please don't come for me and say I'm xenophobic. I live in the township. I'm speaking from experience. I buy from these stores. I will tell you one thing. They do not hire South Africans. Everyone who's working in that spaza shop is a Somalian or a Pakistani. They are not hiring South Africans. They are not buying from local South Africans. Probably most of the brands that are in that shop, the ones that have been exposed to, they're either counterfeited or they are not from here. And this situation has also prompted discussions about the role of government in communities in supporting local South African businesses. There's a growing call for policies and programs that help level the playing field for Spaza shops, such as tax incentives, business training, and access to financing. And despite these challenges, there's still a hope for the future of Spaza shops, especially with the current discussions that are being held about food safety from the foreign-owned Spaza shops, where expired goods are found, counterfeited products are found, poisoned foods are found. And with the right support and a focus on innovation, small businesses can continue to thrive and play a vital role in the Kasi. You know, the story of Spaza shops versus big retailers versus the foreign nationals is a tale of resilience, adaptation, and the enduring spirit of Black people in the township. While the landscape has changed, the importance of supporting local businesses has never been more crucial. And before I get into the reasons why big businesses are now making their big moves in the townships, bringing in infrastructure, buying other local businesses, I just wanted to highlight that the rise of foreign run Spaza shops, including retail going into the township, has posed several challenges for an ordinary Black South African who's trying to start his own retail shop. For instance, there's competition for customers and market share, which has intensified, which means it has led to an increased pressure on pricing and profit margins. Additionally, there are concerns about the economic leakage, where profits from these shops are now remitted back to their home countries instead of being reinvested into the very same South Africa that they are setting up shop in. And the challenge of foreign run Spaza shops extends beyond individual businesses. There are broader economic and social implications, including concerns about job creation, local economy development, and cultural integration. All right, so let's move over to why big businesses are moving into the township. To understand why big business is profitable in the townships, we need to look at several factors. First of all, townships are densely populated. It's crowded in the townships. Like, you wake up in the morning, already there's someone sweeping the yard, and you can hear the broom go shwap, shwap, shwap. And that alone just tells you that Nisekasi Baba, and Ekasi automatically translates as potential customers for retailers. Secondly, there's a growing middle class in the township, which increases people with disposable income and a demand for a wide range of products and services. And big businesses have several advantages that allow them to profit in townships. They have access to capital, number one, which enables them to invest in large scale operations, modern infrastructure. And when we speak about infrastructure, think about when Boxer moves into any Gazi, they are not going to use whatever infrastructure that was there. They are going to demolish and build their own Boxer. You know what I mean? Their own infrastructure. They also have marketing campaigns. Their economies of scale allow them to purchase goods in bulk at lower prices, which then means they can then pass on to consumers, undercutting the smaller competitors, which are your tuck shops or your Spaza shops rather, and your informal traders. Big business also have, efficient supply chains, which are another added advantage. They can ensure a consistent supply of products, from fresh produce directly from the farmer and to electronics, which can be difficult for smaller shops like Ubab Dlamini there at the corner shop. This reliability and variety attracts customers who are looking for convenience and obviously choice. The impact of the moving in of big businesses on local businesses is huge. The entry of big businesses into township has significant implications for Spaza shops in particular and small businesses. While consumers benefit from the lower prices and wider selection of goods, local businesses often struggle to compete. This can lead to a decline in their sales and profitability, which also affects their livelihood of shop owners and employees. So to survive and thrive in the competitive environment, local businesses need support. I cannot stress enough, as a person who's ran a business in the township and failed several times, to survive and thrive in this competitive environment, you need support. This includes access to financing, business training and opportunities to network or collaborate. Because for you to be able to network and collaborate, you need to be exposed. You cannot establish something beyond what you have been exposed to. I cannot stress enough that exposure is very important. Also, innovation is also key. With local shops needing to find their niche and offer unique products or services that big businesses cannot easily replicate. And before I close off on today's topic, I just wanted to bring to your attention that the profitability of big businesses in the township also has broader economic implications. Yes, it brings in job creation and increased economic activity. We must just bear in mind that there are concerns, and there are valid concerns, that there is economic leakage, because how then do you explain the underdevelopment of the townships? Yes, we've got all these big businesses that are coming through. However, the township is not being as developed, as quick as the profits are being made. This highlights to the need for policies and initiatives that encourage big businesses to contribute to the local economy. All right. So in closing, the profitability of big businesses in the South African townships is a complex issue with significant implications for local economies and communities. While big businesses do bring advantages such as lower prices and variety, they also pose challenges to local shops. And supporting local entrepreneurs and fostering a balanced business environment is very crucial to ensuring that township economies continue to thrive, and they're just not up for grabs, supporting only one class of the human race. So yeah, that's it from me. Thank you for joining the Market Savvy podcast as we delved into the impact of big businesses setting up in the townships and making big profits. We've explored the challenges, the opportunities, and the broader economic implications of this trend. And it is clear that the landscape of township economies is definitely evolving. While there are concerns of competition and economic leakage, there are also opportunities for collaboration, innovation, and mutual growth. Okay, as we wrap up today's episode, we encourage you to continue supporting local businesses and to engage with your very own communities. By fostering a dialogue and understanding, we can create a more inclusive and resilient economic environment for all. So yeah, that's it from me. If you found this episode insightful, please subscribe to the Market Savvy podcast with K Jesus, of course, and share it with your friends. Your support helps us bring important conversations like these to light. So yeah, until next time, stay savvy, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next episode. Ciao.
Get rid of your Monday business blues and be business savvy by joining the Market Savvy crew. New episodes drop every Monday at 12 midday. Subscribe now and don't delay. Get tips, trends, and increase your net worth by subscribing to our mailing list. Visit www.kbonoko.com and let your ambitions fuel your every move.